Okay, it's Saturday afternoon. This is the first day of week 4. Can you believe it? We're already at week 4. What did I set out in these 4 weeks to do? I wanted to get back in my routine. I wanted to eat more fruit and vegetables. I wanted to be more consistent with my movement. And I just wanted to start taking those actions, which meant that I was going to get healthier, maybe lose a bit of weight on the way, just see what happens. And let's recap. If you haven't watched part 1, 2 or 3, this is part 4. I haven't been tracking my calories, I haven't been tracking macros, I haven't been weighing my food. What I've been doing is a weekly measurement, which I'll do tomorrow on a Sunday, and I have been doing daily weighing so I can understand the pattern, because we expect the spikes to go up and down. That means my body's working. No tracker watches or anything like that, just being consistent with what I set out to do. So every morning I have made a plan for my food, just written it in my diary. This is what I want to eat: breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and then coming back and writing down actually what I've done so I can form a picture, see the habits, see where I need to be tweaking. And so this is week 4 of that first month. And you know what? I feel like I'm already winning. So let's see what happens the rest of this week. A quick Sunday segment. I have had a really nice, lovely, relaxing day outside, reading my books. I made my plan this morning. As you know, Sunday's my rest day. And so I've kept my food very simple today, very light, just exactly what I needed. Had a bit of a dip in the pool. I've read most of the day and it's been lovely. And I'm really looking forward to getting into week 4. Okay, Monday afternoon, because I actually thought I'd recorded this morning and I went to upload it, hadn't. So here I am. So this is week 4, and I was just kind of looking this morning at what I wanted to do when I started doing this. What were the aims of my 4 weeks, what I was trying to achieve, and have I achieved it? Now, at the end of this week, which will be the last of these 4 videos, I will do like a roundup, but I thought it would be quite nice just to touch base on it today. So my aim for these 4 weeks were to identify what I was actually eating, get myself moving more consistently, getting some more fruit and veg in, and actually finding that routine. Because if you remember, I started this as I arrived back from being away for 5 weeks, and I was all a little bit discombobulated. So that was what I was aiming for. I was doing a weekly measuring and I was doing a daily weigh, but I wasn't using any other tracking mechanism. So I wasn't counting calories, wasn't counting my macros, wasn't weighing my food. I was just doing it visually. And I wanted to see how I would get on. And this week, the scales have stayed the same, but my measurements have come down, which means I am losing fat. I didn't actually have a fat goal loss particularly in mind for these 4 weeks. It was more about getting myself set up, ready to go. But I'll tell you on Friday how I've done, but I'm actually really pleased. So that's me for today. I'm hurrying up a little bit where it's hot. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, it's Tuesday. I have done my morning magic. I've just finished my workout. And this is the bit, this is week 4 is the bit where we are just falling in love with the repeating. We've found out what's worked. We've done 3 weeks of it. We've kind of jiggled it around. I've jiggled it around. I work out what I like, what I don't like, what works for me in the time that I have that makes sense for my body. And now we're just going to keep repeating. No need to change, just going with it. So, yep, here's to another day of just the normal, boring, repeating, the magic that works. Good morning. This is our Wednesday segment. So today I thought I would do this video before I've just even started my day hardly. I'm just going to go and get myself up and I'm going to weigh myself. Now in my head, this is the kind of thinking that happens. I went out for dinner last night with my husband and some friends, and although I'd already planned in my head what I was going to eat, I probably ate more than I thought I was going to, so I was probably over my calories. Remember, I'm not counting, so I'm doing it by eye and knowledge. So this morning, the first thing that enters your head is, I know the scales are going to go up because of last night's dinner. That's not actually true. Until I step on them, I have no idea what they're going to do. The second thing is, what should I eat today? When I put my plan down, should I make it lighter? Maybe I shouldn't eat breakfast, all because I had last night's dinner. Again, none of that is right and none of it is true. What I'm going to do is make my plan just like every other day, because I know that it works and I know that it's my next action that is the right one and that the one that makes the difference. So if I were to cut out food or to eat less this morning, by the time I get to this evening, I'm going to be hungry, and then I'm going to snack, and then I'm going to get into that cycle of not choosing the best foods for my body, for my journey, for my focus, for my goal. So I'm going to go and have a weigh-in. It'll say whatever it says. It doesn't matter. I had a lovely evening last night with my friends, which is much more important. And then I'm going to get on with my day, and my day is going to run like every other day. So I make my plan, do my workout, do my morning magic, and I'm going to have a good day. Okay, it's Thursday. I have done my morning magic. I did it on the balcony this morning because it was lovely. I'm going for a swim later. I've got my food plan. And if you remember yesterday, I just told you that obviously the scales had spiked where we'd been out for dinner. No knee-jerk reaction needed. The spike has come back down, of course, just got back on with the plan, no problem. We are actually going out for dinner again this evening, because there's loads of friends here at the moment, which is lovely. So even though tomorrow is the last day and I'm going to be doing a big roundup of everything, I am expecting that scale weight to have gone back up tomorrow. I mean, it literally has been like that this week because of me following my plan and going out and eating stuff that we don't normally eat, even though I am controlling it in the best way I possibly can. You know, I don't live in a cave, these things happen. It's a great example. Does it mean that I am messing everything up? No. Does it mean that I've ruined all the hard work from the first couple of weeks? No. So stay and see what happens tomorrow. Okay, so this is the Friday segment of this part 4. This is the very last bit, and I'm going to use it as a roundup. So let's go back right to the beginning of part 1. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend you go watch it. But I started recording this because I had just come back from being away for 5 weeks, and I was really out of my routine. Had been out of my natural habitat. I was feeling puffy, and just generally levels of energy were down. And so I really wanted to focus on getting myself back into my routines, getting back into eating fruit and veg more, getting back into consistently working out and lifting weights. And I decided, if you remember, that I wasn't going to track anything at all apart from doing a daily weigh-in, so that I could track and show you how normal life and weight goes, and weekly taking all my measurements. I did say at the beginning I was going to take photographs. I did say on week 3, oh my goodness, I still haven't done it. I never got around to taking the photographs, but you know, doesn't matter. So here we are now at the end. I did my weigh-in this morning. As we know, I went out for Chinese last night, and so of course the scales have spiked up, but because I've taken that daily weigh-in all the way through, I was able to look at the average. So I know that over the last month I've lost about £2, which is a brilliant start. I'm really happy with that. And if you're listening thinking, oh god, but £2 over a whole month, it's not much. But imagine if I lose £2 every month for the rest of the year. So by the time I get to next year, that's a substantial amount of weight to lose, and I've done it in a consistent way. I have been out for dinner. I've enjoyed, socialising. I've enjoyed seeing my friends. I haven't had to restrict anything. I don't feel like I'm suffering. So I am more than happy with that. Also remembering, of course, that I've not been tracking my calories, I haven't been tracking my macros. I've literally been keeping a food diary where I've recorded that my plan for the day, what I think I want to eat, which is the best way for me to work my way forward towards my goal. And then I've been coming back and recording what I've actually eaten in that day, so that I can just track it and see where the patterns are. Are there particular days that I don't eat so well, or are there little areas where I want to improve? And I would say probably one of those things at the beginning was the people pleasing. If somebody is round or we're out and it makes them feel comfortable for me to eat something, I was definitely doing that. I've stopped that again now, so I'm pleased with that. And then the other area for me is the evening snacking. If I am on my own, I do not snack. But if I'm with my husband, he is an evening snacker. It works for him. It makes me want to eat as well. So I have been doing things to make sure that I am conscious about what I'm doing. So I'm either planning that snack into my day, or I'm asking myself, am I really hungry, or am I just having it because he's having it? And if that's the case, then I'm not doing it. And so the fact that I've lost £2 in weight, when I haven't been doing all those things that people think that you have to do, that just goes to show that you don't need to focus on tracking calories and macros if you don't want to at the beginning of your journey. Of course, if you're nearly at the end of your journey and you've got a few pounds left, you probably do need to, because you've got to focus in on what you're eating, because it absolutely will make a difference. But at the beginning, it's fine. So what are my other wins? So my other wins are, I definitely have noticed that my energy levels have gone up. I'm feeling better. I am moving consistently. I'm moving every single day, not Sundays, but every single day. Sunday is always my rest day. And I am lifting weights 3 times a week at a minimum. So sometimes I've done an extra one if I felt like it, but 3 times is my plan. So all of the things are much more consistent. I have also lost a whopping 16 inches across my body. That is amazing. And that shows me that just because the scales haven't moved, the inches have come down, that's fat loss. The scales, not so much, that just, day to day, whatever, the scales will catch up, but the inches, that's the important bit. That is fat loss. So I'm really happy with that. So that is my roundup for my first month. I, of course, am going to carry on, but I'm not going to be on here weekly now. I might pop back at the end of next month and do a roundup for the next month. Let's see how it goes. But moving forward, what am I going to be doing differently? My movement is going to stay exactly the same. So I'm still going to be swimming, still doing yoga, still doing weights 3 times a week. I'm going to see if I can increase my steps there. Just going to work that into my day. And I'm going to prioritise focusing on the protein in my meals. Now, I'm still not going to track my calories and I'm not tracking my macros, but I do have that knowledge, so I can look at a plate of food and roughly know what the protein content is of it. So I'm going to be making sure that my meals are more protein focused, because I know that by doing that, that will help my body with its recovery, with its muscle growth, with its bone density, with all the other things. Like, protein does way more than just make muscles. Like, it literally is one of the building blocks for your body. And especially if you're over 40, protein is your friend. So I'm going to be doing that. And I'm not going to be particularly focusing on the weight. I'm going to focus on the lifestyle, and I know that the weight will just follow. So thank you for being here over the last 4 weeks. I really hope that you found this helpful. If you have any questions, of course, just leave them in the comments or come and find me on Instagram. I'll be happy to chat through with them more. But for now, that is me, and I will speak to you soon.